Hello everyone, my name is Alex Kirby with the PHCC Library, and in this video I'm going to talk about using AI for your college research projects. And we'll start by talking about ethical ways to use AI for your college research projects. Like any tool, AI can be used in a good, positive way or a negative, bad, unethical way, but let's focus on the positive ways to use AI where it actually helps your learning. So one of the best ways to use AI for research is to use it as a kind of tutor to help explain concepts that you might be kind of stuck on. So a big part of research is learning the fundamentals of whatever subject it is you're studying. You have to kind of become a mini expert in your topic of your paper, and the AI can help with that. So say you're writing a paper about a complex subject like the theory of relativity in this example you see here. Well, that can be kind of a tricky concept to grasp. So you could log into an AI like ChatGPT or Google Bard and start asking questions of the AI as if it was a tutor to ask it to help you explain the theory of relativity to you. And after a while, you might have that eureka moment where you sort of do grasp the concept. And from then on, the research project process will be a lot easier for you as you write your paper. All the articles that you read and books you look at will be much easier to understand because you grasp the fundamentals of your subject. So AI can help you with that. And this is a great example of a positive, ethical way to use AI because the AI is helping you learn. It's not doing the work for you. It's just acting as an assistant to improve your learning and speed up the process. Another great way to use AI is to have AI edit your paper. No one ever wrote a perfect first draft of a paper. You always have to revise and improve your writing, and it's always great to have someone else look over your writing too to get a fresh set of eyes on it. The college has a writing center that has great English tutors that can look over your papers, but if you don't have time to visit with them, you could log into an AI like ChatGPT or Google Bard and ask the AI to check your paper and copy and paste your essay in there, and it can give you pretty good feedback on spelling and grammar. Not as good as a regular tutor, but pretty good. They'll catch a lot of mistakes, and it's, again, a super helpful way to use AI to improve your learning and improve your writing and learn at the same time. Another great way to use AI is to use it to brainstorm new ideas. We've all had those moments of writer's block where we couldn't think of anything more to say or anything more to write. Well, prompt AI to generate or give you a list of ideas that relate to your topic, and that might give you some new avenues that you could go down to talk about for your paper or for a speech or something like that. Like in this example here, say I had to give an argumentative speech that had to do with gun control. I could ask the AI to give me arguments for and against gun control, and then I could then look through that list to see if there are any new ideas for me that I could use in there. So again, I'm using AI as kind of like a guide to point me in like a useful direction that I might use for my research. It's not doing the work for me, it's just helping me. At this point, once I had the new idea, I'd have to dive in and research it, but at least the AI helped give me that nice point in the right direction. Another great way AI can help you out with research is to be sort of like your research assistant. A lot of professional researchers will have research assistants that help them gather information, and then they'll summarize that information for you. You know, for any topic, there's going to be so many sources available in books and articles. You're not going to have time to read everything, so you'll have to prioritize certain things. But one thing AI can do is, say you find a really long 500-page book that you think might be helpful on your topic, but you don't want to necessarily just dive in and read the whole thing. Just ask an AI to summarize that book, and it'll give you a quick, short summary of the book that you can then look through for useful information. And then if you do decide you want to use that information, you can quickly skim through for anything useful that you want to use later. But at the same time, it's nice to have that AI available if you do need to summarize things you need to look at later. Next, we have unethical ways to use AI, things we want to avoid when it comes to use of AI. So one of those things you don't want to do is you don't want to use AI to do your work for you to create your coursework. While it is possible to ask AI to write a one-page paper on Alexander Hamilton or whatever the case might be, and that is easy for you to do today, it will hurt you in the long run. One way it can hurt you is that cheating like this is a violation of the college's academic integrity policy, because you're taking the work of someone or something else and lying and saying that it's your work that you did when you really didn't, and that can have really serious consequences in college, like failing an entire class, among others. But also it cheats other students who do the work, and it cheats you because you're not growing and learning and developing as a person and as a professional. Remember, You'll eventually take more advanced classes where AI may not be as applicable, or you'll eventually get a real job and be working in the professional world where you won't always have AI at your fingertips to do your work for you. And if you don't build up your critical thinking and writing skills, you may really struggle or may find yourself at a point where you can't function in your job because you never learned anything because you allowed AI to do your learning for you and to replace you in the learning process. Another derivation of that, another variation of that, is to use AI to answer your homework questions. While you can do this, it is another form of cheating because the AI is doing the work in place of you. And again, you're not learning anything, you're not benefiting, and you may, if you cheat and rely on AI in this way, you may find yourself someday completely unable to function without it. And we don't want that to happen in the college, and you don't want that to happen for yourself. So using AI to answer homework questions is, again, very unethical. I mean, while you certainly could probably copy and paste quiz questions from an online quiz into an AI, you would be cheating in the class if you would do that, and you would be cheating yourself in the real world. Another unethical thing that you could do with AI, but that you should not do, is if your professor does allow the use of AI for a paper, you still need to cite it as something you used for your paper. The college library website has rules and guides on APA and MLA style about how to cite AI. So again, if you're permitted to use it, it's still a tool that you used or a place that you used to get information, and you still need to cite that you used it. Remember, things and sources of information used for a paper have to be cited, or it's a kind of plagiarism because you're putting out there that that information is my information that I came up with, when in the case of AI, that is most certainly not the case. So if your professor explicitly says that you're allowed to use AI, you can do so according to the description of the rules they have about how to use it, but you do still need to cite AI. If you're ever unsure about whether your professor permits AI in their coursework, make sure to ask them. So those are the basics of the ethical use of AI. Remember, the dividing line on ethical use of AI is ethically using AI means that you're using it to help your learning and improve the learning process for you and maybe make your life a little bit easier in certain ways. But if the AI is doing the work for you and generating the ideas and generating the content for you, and then you're just passing off the AI's work as your work, that's unethical use of AI. That is considered cheating, and it's bad for you and for the college. So please don't do that. I did also want to quickly make you aware of just certain shortcomings you should be aware if you are permitted to use AI and you decide to do so in some of your college assignments. One is AI can give you incorrect information, so please always double check AI with more reputable, trustworthy sources like books, articles, and authoritative websites. AI generates its information based on data that it's saved from the internet, but we all know that there's a lot of incorrect information on the internet, so don't trust implicitly whatever you see on an AI without corroborating it with other sources. 2, AI can give you biased information. Again, AI generates its responses based on information that it's gathered from the internet and elsewhere. And we know there's a lot of biased, one-sided information online. So don't allow your paper to become biased and one-sided because it's based on sources that you use that were biased and one-sided. Always try to use a wide variety of sources for your research projects so you make sure your paper isn't biased itself. And make sure you understand your topic well so you can spot bias. And another thing is, for most research projects in college, almost all research projects, you'll have to cite your sources. And AI may not really help very much with that, because while AI may give you information, AI will often refuse to tell you where it got its information from. I've had AI do this where I asked it where to cite its sources, and it literally just said no, that it could not and would not do that. So that's a problem. We don't know where the AI got its information from. A big part of scholarship is documenting sources, and AI doesn't really do that at all, or if it does it, if it doesn't do it very well. You may also run into that AI gives you a link that it says this is where it got that information from, or it'll tell you I got this information from that source, but people have run into issues where the link was broken or the source that it mentioned doesn't exist. So AI seems to have a really big problem with documenting where it gets information from. So if your professor wants you to cite sources and it doesn't accept AI as a source, you may have a really hard time having AI document or tell you where it got its information from. So be aware of these shortcomings of AI if you do decide to use it for any projects where it's permitted. And that's all I have to go over for you today. This is sort of a new and evolving subject, so some of these things I've outlined with AI may change over time, but the core of how to use AI, especially how to use AI ethically, will always be the same. Use AI to help and improve your learning, not as a replacement for your own learning and intelligence where it does your work for you. I know this can be a tricky subject, so again, if you have questions about AI as part of research, feel free to reach out to me, Alex, in the library. You see my email address there, and you're also always welcome and recommended to consult with your professors in your different classes about whether AI use is permitted in their classes and how you should be using it in their classes. Good luck on all your research projects.